Yeah. Crenshaw Talk. I'm gonna start this one off kind of quick. Came here to talk about reparations a little bit because I hear different opinions on it, and I understand different people's opinions on reparations. And what I feel about reparations is different people been wronged in this country, and if you feel you've been wrong, like shit, bring the case. I feel like it should be like just like anything else in life. Don't rush to judgment. Just like how we don't want to rush to judgment on court cases, make this like a court case. Bring the court case up, because one common thing I hear people say is, "Oh, you should have to work for it just like us." And work for it just like us. I agree. Everybody should have to work for what they do, unless the people that unable to work, disabled, stuff like that. But the thing about it is, that's not what the case is. The case, if you feel you've been wronged, then you bring the case up to get right, and that's what it's about. It's like, we got Powerball, Lotto, and stuff. Yeah, we all should work for it, but if somebody win the Lotto, they win the Lotto. I mean, I could want to win it too and feel like we should all have to work for it, but hey, they came and won the Lotto. So, I mean, is it just hating? Is it because of a certain color? Because another way I look at it too is, why not just want to rebuild America? Why not rebuild the communities that have been torn down? What's wrong with that? Especially if the government had parts to do in the tearing down of its own country. What's wrong with that? We do that for the opioid crisis. It's a lot of other folks and white folks that's on opioids. Is that why? And I'm not even a color person, because I agree. You should want to rebuild people, rebuild lives, rebuild America. Ain't nothing wrong with that. To me, it seemed like money go to all other countries and for certain movements and shit like that. We pay Ukraine and sending cluster bombs and all type of stuff like that, right? We got people coming from the border illegally just so they could get housed. I would, if you know it's the Lotto, you go somewhere and you can just instantly cross the border and you hit the Lotto because they take care of you and pay for you. I mean, I can't even blame them for wanting to do it if the government gonna do it. Even that to me is discrimination against the black neighborhoods and communities where minorities, Hispanic and blacks live in. Because now you're flooding it with more, giving them resources that you're not giving the Americans. It's a lot of black people out here homeless. And is it the point that people just don't care? I don't care what color the community is. If it needs rebuilding, America the Great, we should have enough money to rebuild it. But instead, the government want new voters. I guess when they let people come across and the kids, it's new voters. Instead of taking care of the people, because the people that's here demand more. See, and that's the thing you got to watch with the government and how they try to, TV and stuff like that, try to separate people, because we, as Americans, we should have certain resources that people don't have that come to America that's not Americans. That's just point blank. But we fighting over the resources because they spreading it so thin. So we fighting over the thin shit. We pay our tax dollars and our tax money to the government. To be honest with you, the communities would be rebuilded. We probably wouldn't even have to really talk about reparations as much like that if they put the money back into the communities. The tax money come from Americans. Why can't it go back to Americans? Why can't it go to programs for Americans? Instead of having people on welfare, shit that ain't enough, that they still need Section 8 and all, why don't they make work opportunity programs where you could make a decent wage, where these jobs, you could make a wage where you could buy a home or at least rent a home? If you work 40 hours, you should be able to afford certain things. And see, the price of things going so high that you can't afford these things, that people get to fighting over what people feel they deserve. Like, oh, you shouldn't pay them. You shouldn't give them nothing. You shouldn't give them nothing because I'm not getting it. It's not about that. If somebody's been wrong, they get righted. You don't get righted if you didn't get wronged. And at this point, I see them as helping people that's not even legally here more than the people that's legally here. And to me, if you fix that and start putting the money towards who's legally here, then call it reparations, call it aid, call it whatever you want, because we try to repair and rebuild a lot of stuff, but don't money go to where it's needed. Maybe they need victim voters. Maybe they need people to be victims so they could give them the bullshit programs, not good programs. But man, just keep your eyes open, man, because you can't hate on people just because they are different people. You know, it's enough money out here if we do the right shit with it. It's just that we doing agenda shit with the government is doing agenda shit with our money. Look at they funding all these bullshit campaigns and all this other type shit to keep our eyes closed and not tell us the truth. They put money behind that shit. You know what I mean? But, you know, just think about it. But if you want to stay stuck and hate people, you keep on hating people. But guess what? I'm going to advance and move forward because in my thinking, because I'm going to think about the solution instead of try to stay stuck in the problem and blame people. Yes, some people don't do the right things. What we could create is programs where if you want to do the right thing, you come do the right thing. If you want to sit over there and not do the right thing, go ahead. But we ain't gonna baby you. Not into babying people either, but some people need a little push and a little help based on experiences in their life. You know what I mean? You could be closed-minded if you want. Crenshaw Talk.